Welcome back for another rapid market update, where every single month we go over the key real estate metrics and what they mean for you as a consumer. My name is Katie Bullock, realtor with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Momentum Group. Thank you so much for being here. It's October 2023, beginning of fourth quarter. All right, so let's get into this. We have the average days on market sitting right around 44 days. Now again, days on market means from the time a home is listed for sale until it goes under contract with a buyer. That time frame is days on market. In markets where homes are selling really quickly, you will see that number lower. As that number gets bigger and bigger and bigger, indicates the speed at which the market's moving. Currently, inventory-wise, we've got 541 homes for sale. We've got an average list price, so that's the price that when they first put it for sale, that is the list price. Average list price around $583,000. And the average sold price, what the home actually ended up selling for, around $576,000. So these numbers are great if you are a realtor and you're into numbers. So what does this actually mean for you as a potential buyer or seller in today's market? And I think the first number that I really want to touch on is this average sold price. So let's look at this a little bit deeper. What we're looking at is the average sold to list price. The number that I would focus on here is this red line. So what was the average sold price to the original price the home was listed at? Now, the key number in this entire chart that homes are selling at about 96% of that original list price. So what does that mean? So that means as a buyer, right now we're at 44 days on market. You have a little bit more time to make a decision compared to a few years past when, a home would go up for sale. You needed to decide right away. 44 days, you have a little bit more time to look around. You have a little bit more time to make a decision if the house is right for you. You also need to know that homes are selling at around 96% of that original list price. So that tells us there may be some room to negotiate on that price. Not a huge amount. We're still at 96% of list price, but it is indicating that there is a little bit of wiggle room. Now, if you are a seller, this is incredibly important for you to know as well. This is important for you to set realistic expectations. You also need to know that you need to be more patient. The average days on market being 44, your house could be for sale for a month and a half before you get a buyer. So mentally going into that, you just need to prepare yourself, again, to be patient. Don't panic if you don't have a buyer in the first week or the first 2 weeks. Again, prepare yourself to be patient. Okay? Still, inventory, the best inventory on the market, things that are priced incredibly well, things that are well taken care of in popular areas, those are still selling quickly. But as a seller, again, you just need to get your mind wrapped around the fact that it's going to take a little bit more patience. Don't freak out. A lot of the selling process is just sort of mental and staying calm throughout the process. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about this home selling for 96% of the original list price and just kind of touch on some sales price data. So right here, we've got a chart. This is home sales per quarter. And what we're looking specifically is the average sold price. Now, this data goes back all the way to 2018. So first quarter, beginning of year, 2018, the average sold price was around $321,000. Okay. Now, in the third quarter 2023, like we said, we're in the $580,000 range is where we're seeing. Now, the key thing to note on this is, as you can see, and it shouldn't come to anyone as a surprise, but the home pricings have, they shot up significantly, and we just have this over the last 5 years, this incline in the pricing. For Utah County here, we looked like we peaked out around the beginning of the year 2022. Okay. Now we have seen a little bit of a decline from its highest point, its highest peak, but it's not significant. And I think that this is important to note. Okay. We really currently right now in our market, we have two significant pressures. Okay, we have low inventory, which is continuing to put pressure on home prices. It's why we haven't seen a humongous decrease in home pricing, even with the interest rates. And speaking of interest rates, that is the other major issue that we have right now, and that is affordability. With interest rates being the highest they've been in decades, Affordability is a real issue for buyers right now. So these two pressures are really coming to a head and kind of battling with one another. But the thing to note is everyone is sort of looking for this crash in the market where we're going to see home prices, go back down to this 300 level. And the data is not indicating that it's doing that. Even though we are seeing some reduction in pricing, for the most part, home prices are kind of staying steady. We aren't seeing huge $100,000 significant decreases in home prices. Okay, so why is this important? As a buyer, it's very important, again, that you have realistic expectations. There's a lot going on in the news right now. There's a lot of, you can get all sorts of information. But for here in Utah County, the data is not indicating a humongous decrease in pricing. Now, for the seller side, it's important to know that as well. A lot of sellers are feeling panicked. Should they sell now? Is their home, the value of their home going to drop significantly? As a seller, the market is still strong for sellers. You just need to know, you need to be willing to have some conversations with buyers. Alrighty, and then the last thing I just wanted to touch on is as we are moving into fourth quarter, we are going to see the seasonality of the market start to hit us. This chart here, we're looking at the number of new residential listings, and this is going back to 2019. And as you can see, we follow a pretty steady trend here in Utah. Okay, starting in January, we have a peak market coming through spring. We start to see a little bit of a decline coming into the fall and maxing that decline out into November and December. This is where we see sort of a slowing of the market towards the end of the year. But it makes sense. Think about it. If you're a seller, do you really want to sell your home over Thanksgiving or Christmas or holiday breaks? Probably not. So we are moving into just the seasonal, slower time in the market. So again, what does that mean for you? If you are a seller and you need to sell right now, or you need to sell moving into October, November, December, life happens, things happen, people need to sell and buy homes every single day, right? Just know that it is a slower time of year. It may take a little bit longer. If you have a goal that you need your home sold by a certain time frame, if it was me and I knew that I needed to be out of my home by the first of the year, I would be very quickly getting my home in the market as soon as possible, like today. The sooner the better if you have a goal that you need to get that sold. In my opinion, if you are a buyer in today's market and you can afford the interest rates, you can afford the payment, we are moving into a significant window of opportunity for you. There is a huge opportunity at the end of this year for buyers to probably get the best deal that they've seen all year, with things slowing down, with interest rates being high. So again, if you're a buyer looking to buy in today's market, the next 3 months, I think, are going to be a big window of opportunity for you. If you are thinking about buying or selling or relocating to Utah, please be sure to subscribe so that you can be the first to know what's going on in the Salt Lake City market. Contact information is down below, phone number, email. Please reach out. As always, real estate is hyper-local. If there is an area that you are looking to move to, please reach out so that I can help you get up-to-date information and help you come up with a strategy to meet whatever goals you have. So, all right, we will see you next month.